Let's talk about welders. This here is my Snap-on YA204C. This is a 200 amp, 240 volt MIG welder. I bought it at the auction a handful of years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago. And I think I paid about $240 for it. And this is my stinger cable. It's been taped, it's been repaired, it's been greased, it's been neglected maybe. There's nothing separating my nozzle from my gun. There should be a isolator here. There should be an isolator here with an O-ring for this to slide over, but there's not. And being Snap-on, it is a proprietary part. It is also something that I can't buy service parts for. They say I need a whole new one, which is something like $650 for a $240 welder. I'm just not feeling it. I do believe that my power, my voltage is sent through this piece right here. And if you can see that, it has seen better days. Okay? I do believe that these two prongs here are for my trigger. Oh, another part, my trigger. I can just slide this out. And quite often, it gets to a point where I can't pull the trigger. So it's time. I really can't, I don't know why that was in there. I can't see putting all that money into a new proprietary cable. So I went on Amazon and found this cable from Welder. And it's a 15-foot stinger for a Miller welder. And this is a little bit different. It has an external plug for my trigger. And so my quest, my goal is, can I modify this welder to fit this gun effectively? There's pretty much two things I'm battling here. And one is that my diameter here is clearly different, okay? This measures, I believe it's 620 thousandths, 625, okay? This measures 680. So I'm 55 thousandths small, plus my O-rings. So if that's 625, okay, I'm at 634. So that's about a 9 thou overage for the O-rings. So I'm 680 here. I'm gonna say my goal is maybe 685, that I need to ream this aluminum body. That's problem number one. Problem number two is going to be making this trigger work instead of the hole here for the two prongs. And problem number three is that my length is a little bit different. So where my gap is for my shield gas to the end here, you can see there's definitely a clear difference. And my issue is that if I were to line up this here, where that O-ring is just inside this casting, my end here, my tip, is into this roller. I can't much move my roller or my motor back because this is what's clamping, and that's kind of an issue. My thoughts are, what if I can move this entire isolator back a little bit and build a different block that I can run my gas through. So problem one is to ream this hole to fit this. Problem two is to ream maybe a spacer block and drill and tap it for that shield gas to get in there. I would like to make this so I don't have to modify this any, and maybe I'll just put 2 wire terminals on here that I can just plug it in. But I'd like to make it so this is now my serviceable part. That's my goal. I've got the majority of my welding projects taken care of for now, so I don't mind working on this and getting into that. I have an isolator block here, and all of this is soft mounted. So I'm thinking maybe I can move this switch back, I can move this isolator back, and I will have this come in here with an adapter block. Sounds easy. Okay, so I have my isolators taken apart. I've got this little switch plate cover removed, and I'm thinking this is going to be fairly simple. So I need to finish taking the MIG gas out. That's going to be removed from this spot permanently. I'm going to remove the drive motor and get this assembly to the point where it is able to be bolted or clamped into the mill. I also want to point out that now that this cover is open, I have removed my power service to this welder, so there is no energy anywhere in all that fun stuff. And for the sake of it, just in case there's any stored energy before I reach my hands in there, I'll just flip it on. That way it'll burn up anything that's in there. Now, Mr. Feller at the Miller Welder dealer, I told you that if you can sell me a stinger, I will make it work. I'm a fixer, I'm a builder, I'm a maker, and I'm a welder. Well, this better work because I have modified things enough that it's gonna be together forever. I have given myself a new hole for the set screw groove, and I will have to drill and tap this on the side for the argon gas. But now I need to chuck this up in the mill and bore straight through and open it up for that. So I have indicated from here to here to make sure that I am flat, and I'm flat within 2.5 thou, so I'm plenty good for what I'm doing here. And now to indicate this hole, I'm just going to pick up 3 sides. So my dial indicator says around 7 and maybe 9, so I'm going to split the difference and hit 8. Right there. I know you can't see it, but it is. And now right here, I'm at 6. I'm going to bump it till I'm also at 8. And for what I'm doing, that is perfect. I've made sure I'm centered from here to here, and then I've picked up here. And the indicator barely moves, so we're good. Now the new gun is 680 thousandths. I decided to go with an 11/16 drill bit, which is 6875. So we're 7.5 thou big. We're gonna start there. And I'm gonna use a little bit of aluminum tap magic and hope that that kind of just keeps things happy and cut smooth and clean. Once we start with that, I'll just try that stinger and see if it will fit in there or not. And it's always a great idea to give a good chamfer to any hole that you drill that does not need to be a good sharp edge. And now it is the moment of truth to see if this will fit or not. I've got a little bit of dielectric silicone compound, dielectric grease we would call it. And I'm just going to lube up the O-rings a little bit, give them a little bit of a advantage. And that's probably way more than I need. I don't really want to plug my holes. Just want to give it a little bit of slide. That right there is a beautiful thing. I need to drill and tap this body here for the argon feed, and then we'll be ready to try that out. I'm so excited! And just like that, friends, we have a Miller welder adapter for a snap-on MIG welder. Because they said it couldn't be done. That's why we do it. Okay, friends. It is all assembled. I'm gonna go ahead and get some stuff out of the way of that fan. And now it is time to see, when I pull this trigger for the first time, will that motor spin? Okay, now I need to extend my MIG gas hoses because I decided I'm never going to use this machine for TIG since I have a TIG machine up here. And I didn't need one more potential leak point. Even though this is a pretty sweet little selectable valve. I've never seen one like it, but I've never looked for one either. I just decided that I should probably, for the sake of eliminating leaks, just go from here underneath to the gas solenoid that's right up here, and I don't have enough line, so I can kill my power. I can clip my wire here, and I can feed the machine, and then I'll be able to test and see if it'll at least pull wire through if the wire passes all the way to the gun. But I won't be able to weld until I extend that tube. However, so far, I'm really excited about this. So the only thing left to do is pull my tip off and flip it right back on. I have a new gun. I'm really excited to try it out. I'm really excited to weld with it. It's been a long time coming that I've needed this thing. That's that. I gotta get me some more of that line and make some sparks, make some beads. I'm really excited. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. One more thing. Before I call this project done, I have no idea how old this welder is. I have no idea what the service history of it is. I do know that it is plenty dirty, top side and bottom side. That cooling fan motor is caked with dirt. My capacitors and magic things down there are quite dirty. I'm gonna go ahead and wheel this next to the door and get an air gun and just give it an old blasting, and then I'm gonna call it a day.